greetings. Season's greetings from Sartor. Season's greetings from Sartori Studios. As the Chief Creative Officer for the studio, I am very pleased to announce some new additions to the Sartori Studios stable of talent. and foremost among these additions is the very powerful, very fast, mighty, solid state Sartori. Now, you've caught a little glimpse of him in action, but I don't think we've scratched even the surface of what this guy can do. I'm not talking about the guy on the screen there. No, this is solid state Sartori. This little powerhouse has opened up a new world of creative possibilities, a whole new channel for you to explore called Sartori Studios Digital, where we're going to be producing all manner of creative and exciting content for you to enjoy. This is just one of many possibilities afforded by this new and exciting technology. We got lots of stuff in the works. With Sartori Studios Digital and the power of solid state Sartori, we don't have to worry about wrestlers blowing out their knee or only being one person that can't actually fight themselves in the same physical space and time. We've overcome those challenges through the power of artificial intelligence. Thanks to this new technology, you can watch San Antonio Sartori take on the Calvinist, although I don't think it's going to end up too well for him in this time. One device has allowed for us to create a virtual army of creative producers, including several robot podcast hosts who are going to be taking content from our very own author, M.L. Thomas Sartori, and his book, Tents Before Temples, Rough Drafts on Building a Culture That Lasts, and summarizing it into easily digestible videos for viral consumption. So sit back and enjoy the fruits of our new endeavors at Sartori Studios Digital. And while you might not see the big silver guy in front of a camera anytime soon, we do have a whole slew of additional characters waiting to make their debut at Sartori Studios. Now, the creative team has done an incredible job undertaking a massive project, nearly a year's worth of work, turning the over 800-page volume, Tents Before Temples, Rough Drafts on Building a Culture That Lasts, into a playlist. We've turned every chapter into its own video, so you can listen to it while you're driving in the car or working out in the ring. And as a special Christmas treat for our loyal viewers, when the final chapter, the epilogue, is released, you will find a link to download the full PDF of Tents Before Temples for your own enjoyment. We're going public with this. We're not trying to keep it behind a paywall anymore. This rough draft is going out on the open internet in anticipation of future revisions to be released sometime in early 2026. There may even be another separate volume entirely devoted to the art of professional wrestling. So once again, we want to wish a very happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year to all of our loyal fans, viewers, listeners, participants, commenters, and opponents. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, write a review, come on a live stream, and tell us what you really think about the work that we're producing. We dare you. Say it to our face. Thank you, and God bless.
Oh, well, there it is. An entire channel devoted to AI slop, but I had to present it in a good way, you know. We'll put the link here so people can come chat. So I guess I should have had multiple things pulled up, but anyway. See how fast this comes up when I just search for it. Hello, Yoav.
Hello. So, where am I coming from? I'm coming from the Faterot.
From where?
Channel,
Oh,
Jacob's channel, and I guess most people are on your channel. Okay.
so on my second channel here, I
So,
made.
first of all, I want to admit that you were right about something and I was wrong about something.
What's that?
I assumed that everyone, at least in the TLC, has read the Bible even once.
Oh, no, man, that's a long book.
I'm naive. Or maybe not cover to cover, but you know, the famous stories like the stories in Genesis. I was wrong. Some people really need your book to start from the beginning. Green Grizz asked what was the announcement. I don't know why he didn't catch it. It was a few seconds ago.
Yes. So, how do I do it? Here we go. So the more I made a playlist, and in this playlist
Today,
we're play the whole thing. I guess I could. So I put all of the different little notebook LM videos, but I fixed the robot hosts. I guess we should just play the beginning at least. You'd see. Tried to make it, pretty workable.
cracking open a really interesting book called Tents Before Temples by M.L. Thomas Sartori. And you can think of it as a kind of survival guide for culture, a really practical manual for how to...
Oh, this one has a more out throughout. So this one was 15 minutes because I took 3 summaries of the whole book and I cut them up into the parts that I like. So 15 minutes, I feel like that's pretty good if you want the overview of the whole book. And then the other ones are all the different sections. And I, let's see, what was the ones I did last or whatever. Yeah, it probably was the wrestling one or something.
All right, so let's get right into it. A few months ago, millions of us were glued to our screens watching WrestleMania XL. And look, calling it a sporting event doesn't even begin to cover it. This was a spectacle. I'm talking Olympic-level pageantry, Broadway-style theatrics, and rock concert pyrotechnics, all wrapped around this massive story that took over social media, TV, and live shows for months. It was, in a word, epic. And yet, right in the middle of all that hype, you always get that one question.
So now these are all available and people can go look at them for themselves. But I didn't want to put them. I didn't want to put them on the main channel, so it would clog everything up. Well, see, that's the point. I could have made real podcast hosts and people would have known, but I made them robots so that they know it's fake. So, and I think the AI slop, the slop is necessary. That's like the fringe, or the fringe on the edge of the tassels, or the fields. You have to leave the slop in the AI, so it's not too slick. Oh, and I was just say this one. I saw this. Man, that would have been fun, but I think my wife would have been really upset because that was just our actual Christmas tree. So, use the video games. That's like where you can create the characters or whatever. Yeah, but that's like then I have to learn a new thing, and I learned how to do something that I can do while I'm supposed to be paying attention to something else on my phone. So that's the advantage there. So what was it that cued you into the people's biblical ignorance in the corner?
No comment.
Okay. Well, it's good to know. How's everything else going for you?
Well, it's the holiday of Hanukkah,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a very nice holiday. Lots of like every other holiday, lots of meeting with the family and doing things together and eating a lot.
I gotta go get the baby. I'll play the video.
Question. You know the one. It's what everyone who doesn't watch wrestling asks. It kind of cuts right to the chase. Why are you so into this? Why does it matter if you know it's fake? And honestly, it's a totally fair question. But the answer is, well, it's where things get really interesting because in professional wrestling, the fact that it's predetermined isn't a flaw. It's actually the whole point. That fake part, the fact that it's scripted, is precisely what lets it tell stories that feel incredibly and sometimes profoundly true. So, what we're going to do is pull back the curtain a little bit. We're going to explore how this, scripted sport can actually reveal some amazing things about sacrifice, heroism, and, believe it or not, even faith. First things first, though, to really get what's going on, you've got to speak the language. Wrestling has this whole secret vocabulary, and once you learn a few key terms, I promise you will never look at it the same way again. The most important word of all is kayfabe. Kayfabe is the foundation. It's the secret handshake, the unspoken agreement between the performers and the audience that says we're all going to treat this story as if it's real. It's about protecting that illusion, about living inside the narrative together, both in the ring and out. And inside that shared reality, you have your basic characters. You've got the baby face, that's your hero, the person we're all supposed to cheer for. And then you have the heel, that's the villain, the bad guy whose entire job is to get us to boo them. It's simple, it's classic, and man, does it work. But okay, how do they make it all look real? Well, that comes down to the art of selling. Selling is all about the reaction. A wrestler's true talent isn't just about delivering a move, it's about how they react to their opponent's moves to make them look absolutely devastating. It's really an act of trust, of generosity, that makes the whole story believable. And that brings us to maybe the most unsung hero in the entire ring, the jobber. A jobber is a wrestler whose main job is to lose. But not just lose, to lose convincingly. Their whole purpose is to make the other guy look like an absolute star, sacrificing their own record for the good of a bigger story. These guys are the real backbone of the business. So yeah, this leads us to an idea that feels completely backward in any other sport, right? The art of losing. In the world of wrestling, often the most respected and valuable skill isn't winning. It's making someone else's win look amazing. You know, it creates this really fascinating contrast. When we were kids, we all looked up to these huge stars like Hulk Hogan. But then you listen to people in the business and you find out that a lot of those big names were actually kind of difficult to work with. Maybe not even that skilled. Their entire legendary status was basically built on the talent of these unknown workers who were masters at making them look like superheroes. And the highest compliment you can pay one of these selfless performers, you call them a carpenter. A carpenter is a master craftsman. They're the respected veteran who uses everything they know to build up the next generation of stars. They make younger talent look strong and credible, all through their own selfless work. You know, this whole concept is a perfect illustration of a much, much older idea, the biblical concept of meekness. It's so often misunderstood as weakness, but it's not. It's mastered strength. It's the person who has a sword, who absolutely knows how to use it, but makes the conscious choice to keep it sheathed for a higher purpose. Now, here's where it gets really wild. This wrestling vocabulary, it doesn't just work for the ring. It actually gives us a whole new way to read some of the oldest stories we have. What if we could actually understand theology through the language of professional wrestling? So let's take the story of Jacob wrestling the angel. First off, Jacob's name literally means heel, the bad guy. He gets into a fight with this mysterious man and they wrestle all night. But this stranger, who could clearly end the fight in a second, doesn't. Instead, he sells the struggle. He makes Jacob look strong. And in the end, he lets himself lose. He does the job so Jacob can walk away with a blessing. Jacob just wrestled with God, the ultimate carpenter, who took a loss on purpose to build him up. So if this framework helps us make sense of a story from the Old Testament, what about the New? I mean, could the greatest story ever told, the life of Jesus, also be understood through this lens of kayfabe as a masterfully told story designed to have a specific world-changing impact? Well, when you start looking for it, you see it everywhere. Jesus is constantly managing the narrative. He'll perform a miracle and then tell people, hey, don't tell anyone about this, basically controlling the pacing of his own story. He reveals key secrets only to his inner circle. He calls out his opponents, the Pharisees, as hypocrites, a Greek word that literally meant stage actors. And then, at the very end, he knowingly allows his own betrayal to happen, all to fulfill the story that was written from the beginning. Okay, so let's bring it all full circle. Back to where we started, WrestleMania and Cody Rhodes' quest to finish the story. Because this is where we see all these pieces, the hero, the villain, the power of the narrative, just come together in this incredible way. So on one side, you have Cody Rhodes. He's the ultimate babyface, right? He's fighting for the championship his famous father never won, a real story about family legacy and defying corporate authority. And on the other side, The Rock, the guy who used to be the people's champion, comes back as a corporate stooge, the final boss. He became the perfect heel for Cody and the fans to fight against. And here's the beautiful paradox of it all. In a sport that gets constantly dragged for being fake and predetermined, it's one of the few places where the raw, passionate will of the audience can actually force the writers to change the script. The fans wanted Cody to win so desperately that the company really had no choice. They had to give the people their story. You know, the head of creative at WWE, Triple H, he put it perfectly. He said that in today's world of anti-heroes, it's really hard to create a genuine, good guy babyface that people will rally behind. But Cody became that guy, not because it was manufactured, but because his journey felt real. He was everything you wanted to believe in, and so the whole world got behind him. So in the end, wrestling shows us something really powerful. Even when a story feels like it's already written, it can be changed by overwhelming belief and the will to see it through. It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What stories in our own lives are just waiting for us to finish them? You know that feeling when you're looking forward to something and the excitement?
Yeah, here's a
Oh.
baby. So I was talking about the holiday of Hanukkah. So I will add something to stage. Why does
Oh.
you,
Okay.
you have, okay, I will try again. Okay. This is the core of the holiday. And you have 8 days of this. Needs a lot of stamina to go through it all. I think that those AI-generated imagery adds a lot. It's so much better than just watching you read it. I mean, with all due respect to your physical appearance, after 5 or 10 minutes, it gets repetitious, and those AI images, AI slope really add a lot.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a few when I was, because, you know, I put the call out over a year ago, more or less, to have other people read the chapters. And then when they read the chapters, some of them didn't, you know, only gave me the audio. I put pictures throughout the whole thing. So a few of the chapters are like that, but it's not all of them. I mean, I would have liked to do that for all of them, but you know, it was a rush to read them all in the last month here. So, but you know, we'll do better with the next book. That's how you go.
I have another Hanukkah story, but I maybe want to save it for the end. Keep people sort of. And it's going to be a nice story, so I want to keep people in the stream. So, tell me about 5 minutes to the end to bring my story in.
Okay. I mean, that was all my agenda for the day, more or less. I thought about playing all the videos in the playlist, but you know, I don't want to sit through all of them. Oof.
Frankly, I rather watch the baby than than another chapter.
Yeah. Oh, there, I'll move it so you can see him. Now I have to make the other video public on the thing so people can watch it after. And they can find it. Who else has got something going on? Everybody else is just getting fat off pastries.
Sorry?
What's that? What else? Is this for your story?
Yeah, the picture that I'm not showing is yet. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Unfiltered reality. Yeah.
Yeah, we try to do some nights of Hanukkah, but we missed the first night. But I mean, I guess we have a few more. So when's it? It goes till Saturday, or
Yeah, Sunday is the 8th day.
Sunday's the 8th day.
Yes, and that's the best one because then this is when you light 8 candles.
Mm. Yeah. I have the other year I made a dreidel out of wood because we didn't have one. So
Apropos carpentry, a verse was brought to my attention. Then it was Yeshayahu 41:7. It says it's about carpentry. Did you know that Yeshayahu was talking about?
3 chapters are about wrestling and kayfabe. There's other stuff too.
Sorry, I missed the connection.
Oh, somebody was asking if the whole book was about kayfabe. I was just saying that.
No. So Yeshayahu 41:7 was talking about the carpenter using good glue and then strengthening the construction by nails as well.
Yep.
Lots of things
That's
you can learn in the Bible. And it's about team spirit, about people working together towards a common goal, different professions.
Well, if no one else is going to come on.
Okay, then I will tell my story.
Yeah.
Okay. First, how many people are there? 3 people watching now. Okay. Good, because it's quite an offensive story. Don't want to unleash it on a very large audience. I work in 3D printing, and I get to know some graphical designers. And these people tend to be people of high innovation and very high in open. Maybe I need to do something. Okay. I'm waiting for the dog to finish.
Oh, is your dog or my dog?
No, I don't have a dog, so must be somebody else's dog. Okay.
Yeah, I had my microphone muted, but it must be picking it up from somewhere else.
Okay, so I'm going on. So I met this designer who made himself a challenge to design the Chanukiah, this chandelier for the candles in Hanukkah. And it needs to be something innovative. Some Chanukiah every year, unlike every Chanukiah that ever was before or any Chanukiah that will ever be made after. Completely new concept every year. And on Hanukkah of 2022, he has made one. And he has proudly brought it home to his wife. And his wife said that, well, it's either me or the Chanukiah. So he was the Chanukiah was looking for a home. So I got it. And my wife said, first, not funny. Second, not here. So it went on looking for a house. So I'm going to share a picture now. This is the sort of thing that I print. What you see here is actually plastic, but it has the texture and the color of any material that you just wish it would be. I will show you the base. So this is the base of the structure. You see what looks like a stone pedestal. It's plastic, but it feels and looks like stone, and it's 3D printing. And then on top of it, there is something that looks like marble. Still, it's plastic with the constituency of marble. And then you have this construction on top of it. And what looks like a gold plating, it's still 3D printed plastic. And what looks like a wood is also plastic. Okay? And now is the punchline. This is the Chanukiah he made. And you have to admit it's innovative. So being transferred around from one reluctant receiver to another reluctant receiver, somebody dropped it by mistake and it fell to the ground. And since it has the constituency of marble, it shattered to 1,000 pieces. And that was the end of the story.
Well,
Speechless. How are you?
well, I mean, Jacob does bring up Jesus celebrated Hanukkah, so I don't know who would have wanted that one. Maybe his mom or somebody, but
Yeah, I wish I could give it as a present to Jacob, but it's not with us anymore. Yeah, it as Jon God said, that was what was meant to be.
all right. Well, it's been a pleasure. I guess we'll call it there. So, happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Yeah.
And Merry Christmas.
Yes. See you.